Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Episode number 11 of Danny Dot's podcast. I'm your host. And my goodness, it's been a whirlwind 2 weeks. Where has the time gone? I didn't prolong actually recording this next podcast. It was more a suggestion by the platform that's hosting my podcast. And I am happy to say that even though I've stretched out between doing podcasts, I'm currently looking at it and they were right. It's let everyone catch up. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was like racing to get podcasts out. And now it's leveled out to 826 people listening to my podcast every episode. And that's absolutely like blowing my mind. What's kind of more interesting is the locations are still crazy. I mean, you got Ecuador, Alberta, I don't even know how to say that, Chinchilpe, Naples, Mexico. There's actually 3% of you in Mexico, and oh my gosh, I would give my left leg, to go to Mexico sometime in my life, but I feel like that little goal is just going further and further away from me. But welcome. That's just, I love it. I love how this little hobby, and people were pushing me to do it, has eventuated in it being such a global listening squad. It's so special. So thank you for tuning in, and I do receive all the messages and the questions. I don't know if everyone knows this, but on Spotify you can actually submit questions to me, and I'll get to that soon because some of the questions are quite funny. But yeah, I am all across how you want to communicate with me, and I am here for it. So this is my May wrap-up birthday / just the birthday edition. I don't even know how long this is going to take for me to get through what's happened in the last fortnight, or even a reflection of what happened in May, but we'll see where the tide takes us. So, as you may know, I have been around the sun another year, so I am 36 now, which was super exciting. There was a time there where it sort of leveled out, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to be on the other side of 35. But age has never bothered me, in a sense that it only scares me that I'm coming up closer to when maybe I would be not able to have a baby. And I've never really aligned my life to actually organize that kind of aspect. I've always just been super available for, parties and social gatherings and stuff like that. I've never allowed myself to actually think about marriage and babies and all those types of mature things. And I think when you're on the other side of 35 and you're sort of closer to 40, it dawns upon you. So it's not so much playing on my mind now, because we are still absolutely, looking to freeze my eggs and all those kinds of things. Whoa, super personal right now. But look, that's where I'm at with everything. And it's 36. Nothing changed. I feel like I do hear that, in your 20s you have a lot of reckless fun, and look, those stories, they are coming. But when you're in your 30s, it's time to sort of grow up and mature and have those sorts of thoughts about what to do next, which is super fun, because last night I actually got to catch up with my mortgage broker, which I will call her that, but she's still my very, very dear friend. And we've had a big discussion about what to do next for myself. And actually, I've all talked to you about my budget and what we're sort of planning on doing this year, and buying a section or a batch or something of an asset for myself. So that's also going to be mentioned this episode, and that conversation was quite frank as well. But when it comes to my actual birthday, it was a 4-day fiesta. It didn't mean to be, but that's just how my friends, spoil me. My birthday was last Friday, the 19th, and on the Thursday I actually got to go to the Fast X. I mean, we were probably one of the first to actually see it, because it was launched that day, and we went down to little old Clyde Cinema, me and my bestie, and I've never been to the Clyde Cinema, so I was already like, what? They even have a cinema? Clyde is a quarter of the size of Cromwell, and I don't even think would you even say it was a quarter? Like 2/10 of the size of Cromwell. And we went and had a couple of like a cocktail and some appetizers beforehand, and I already knew full well that, this was not a normal cinema, so I could have a glass of wine and just, enjoy myself. But holy moly, I give that movie like 9 out of 10. I only say 9 out of 10 because the reason that I went to see Jason Momoa play a part in the Fast X franchise, it freaked me out a little bit. I don't know if I went in with the mindset that he was going to be this big, burly, beautiful human, extremely manly and masculine, but he was a little bit fiery, and he was like, I don't know, pirouetting around a motorway and, doing Swan Lake dances and whatnot. I was just like, this guy, I've had an obsession with him for like, 10, 15 years. And here he is encapsulating his feminine side. Oh dear, just had to enjoy my rosé and ride the wave. But yeah, there was one part of the movie, I won't give it away, but I definitely cracked up there for a bit too long. I thought it was way funnier than it probably was, and you probably would guess what part of that movie was, but my friend that was with me was just like, shut up, Daddy. But no, look, absolutely just such a cool, like, 10th. Oh, that's weird because I'm on to my 11th podcast, and by the time I went to go see that, I had launched my 10th as well. Oh, that's cute. No. But no, definitely go see it if you're into that. It was funny because me and my mum and my brother saw the 9th installment on Mother's Day on the couch, just sort of chilling. And Mum actually turned to me and she says, since when has the Fast and the Furious movies changed from street racing and actually have a storyline or a plot? And I said, I know, it's definitely turned around, but I think it's more the action just seems really unrealistic in some ways, but Fast 10 definitely had a lot of action. It was very consistent, and I was like, oh my gosh, if they have any more like car crashes or like shit that like smashes into things, it's definitely a good movie. I think it was like 2 hours. Yeah, I rate it. It was fun. So because of that, I thought, I have been super consistent lately with going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And being a Friday, it was my birthday. I thought, well, I have been to the gym on Christmas morning. So would it be that bad if I went to the gym the morning of my birthday? And I sort of played it off based on the Thursday night. Like, was I going to have a lot to drink? Was I going to, not get up in time? I still woke up at 5:30 and I lay there and I was like, no, be kind to yourself. Like, just lie in. I actually fell back asleep. I woke up at 7 and I had all these messages that had started pouring in. Obviously, all my friends are in the trade. Well, a lot of them are in the trade industry, and they started waking up super early. One of which, the bestie that took me to the Fast X movie premiere, she messaged and said, hey, listen, I've got to drop your present off and I can't do it at the pub tonight. It's not a pub present. I'm going to come to your house and give it to you now. And I threw on my nude-coloured track pants. That was a big regret. And my hoodie, my big polar fleece hoodie. And I'm sitting at the kitchen bench. She walks in with this like pizza box size present, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is harmless. So I get this. She is the most creative birthday present giver I will ever know. I was kind of under the impression it might be like a raunchy kind of a present, not one to show in public. She had threatened before to get me a vibrator with Jason Momoa's face on it. So I was ready. I was like, okay, so she's going to do something that's not for people's eyes. And I opened this box and there's like a blindfold and a couple of other really cute presents, one of which was a jet plane lolly air freshener for my car. And of course, like she had one. So when I was sitting in her car, like many, months prior, I was obsessed with this bloody jet plane that was hanging off her mirror. So she got me one and I was like, oh, that's the best part. Like I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck, yeah, that's cool. I get my own jet plane air freshener. No, she says, Danny, put the blindfold on, I'll go get your present. And I'm just like frozen, like, holy shit, she's so creative. Has she got my best mate from Australia in her car and she's hidden him from me for the night? Like, things start going through your head. It's crazy. And so I'm sitting there with this like koala bear face mask, thing on. I can't see anything and I can hear her and I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, Danny, take your blindfold off and turn around. And she was filming me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in nude colored track pants here, people. And I turn around and she has got a life size, not a word of a lie, I'm 6'3", he is 6'4", life size cutout of Jason Momoa standing in my living room, staring at me in all of his glory, looking absolutely like a snack. I'm like, oh my God. And that just like snowballed into the funniest, next couple of days, because in my Microsoft Teams meetings for my, work-related stuff, he was in the background and everyone thought it was great. There was heaps of photos being taken. And then at Saturday night's party, he was in the photo booth with us. I made this like mock-up little photo thing that we could all jump in and, take really funny staged photos. He was in that too. And then in a couple of videos I took of, the room that night, people were dancing with this cutout and like that shit lives rent-free in my head forever. He's currently right behind me and I'm not even sad about it. And there's definitely been jokes about where I'm going to put him in the house, but quite frankly, he deserves to be in my bedroom. So if the joke's still going to stay, I have to keep my hands above the bed sheets. Well, I literally have a life-size Jason Momoa in my bedroom. And there has been times where I have, surprised mum with it, where I've put it somewhere and she thinks that there's a person in the house and she's jumped. Like she went to put laundry on my bed and she turned around and she jumped. And I thought, I can't put him anywhere else. I don't want to put him anywhere else. He deserves pride of place. I need to move him. No, it's fine. So yeah, as say that Friday night, I actually am very much a hermit. If you know me, I will stay in on Friday nights, cook something friggin' delicious, drink something friggin' delicious. I definitely don't go out. And so when mum says, oh, it's your birthday, you've got to go out for a drink, we actually toddled on down to the Five Stags and I was just super excited. I had the little reserve, like nook, I don't even know what you call it. It's like this little room that's, you have like dinner parties and stuff and it's super special when none of us had ever been in this stupid thing and we drank there all the time. And the boys at the Stags, they reserved that for me and put me in there and I got gifted a bottle of rosé and, 1.5 bottles of rosé later, I was back in the car on the way home and it was only like 9:30, 10 o'clock and I was going home because I was a little bit drunk. But no, it was so nice. That was with my nearest and dearest, all the ones that, there was actually like all the family, basically. Which, yeah, leads on to Saturday. I sort of chilled out at home and got everything organised, didn't really do anything until my party. I love decorations. I am obsessed with, lots of balloons, lots of colour. There was a theme. It was the Mardi Gras masquerade. And so I just sort of put emphasis on heaps of colour. And sure enough, that sort of theme went amiss a little bit, but it was fine. And I got this like text. Oh, so halfway through, getting organised and everything, my brother turns up and he doesn't come to any party, but he sort of got wind that, it was somewhat of a special occasion just because I have really grown into my friends that are here in Cromwell. So he sort of knows them as well. There's a couple of trades that turned up and he knows them as being a builder. So he came over and he gave me something that I'm definitely struggling to learn how to use, and that is a massive professional soundboard with a podcasting microphone and headphones. Like it's literally one of those things that you see on like TikToks and Facebook Reels where, they're filmed and they're using all the... I kind of look like I should be on radio. So Tom set it up for me, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know if I need to turn up treble and bass and like clear my, the back. There's no background noise because whenever I record a podcast, I'm by myself. So yeah, I'm still learning how to use it. It's definitely not something I'm using right now. But time will, get that up off the ground, that's for sure. And he had that on his mind to buy that for me for months now. He thinks I'm going to be the next Joe Rogan. I mean, I truly think Tom believes that I am still in my 20s, maybe, but also better at something than I actually am. So he is my biggest hype supporter. And he also got me these little mini microphones, which I'm holding in my hand. So you give one, I don't know how you use it. You plug this little device thing in the bottom of your phone and it picks up that you're using a Bluetooth mini microphone. And his idea was that I go around after people had a couple of drinks and just sort of like ask them inappropriate questions for content. And I was like thinking, oh, Tom, I've turned 36, not 22. Like I don't even want to go out anymore, let alone like do that. So I actually think I'll wait till my bestie from Australia comes over to do this because he is the one that has the bad ideas. I do them. So if he has a question that would seem really under the table, he'd probably think of it, but I would say it. And so, yeah, I'm still figuring out what I want to do with those. But I feel like just in general, this whole thing with podcasting, like it's just opening a couple of doors that I'm sitting here like, oh, shit. And especially it's this fun platform where I get to be myself and just, discuss what I want to talk about. And that's super important. It's still very much therapeutic. There has been things that have gone on in my life and I have voiced them and then I felt really good about it. I don't know. It's so weird. So the fact that my brother's just like throwing all this technology at me and he's just like, you do it, you get this thing off the ground, you be amazing. And I'm like, ah. But yeah, so moving on to Saturday night, after Tom had dropped off his present and stuff, he was actually quite tired. He's got some drama going on in his own life with us as a family, me, mum and Tom. We let, someone that we thought was a sort of a family kind of an aspect into moving in with Tom. And it hasn't turned out that way. It's been about 8 or 9 weeks and it's got to the point where just the Sunday gone, my mum had to issue a trespass notice to this person. So I just sometimes get hypersensitive when it comes to my brother just because of what happened with my other brother, Jack, and mental health and how he passed away. When things get really heavy and stressful and, obviously we live 30 minutes apart, me and mum have definitely been super stressed about this whole situation because Tom hasn't been going home until late and he's not eating. And when, he comes over for my party and gives me a present, but he can't think if he wants to stay at mum's house or if he wants to go back home. And that sort of really bothered me. And it's just something that's been going on in the background of my life. So I have been a little bit distant lately because my focus is completely on my brother at the minute and just getting him sorted. But this trespass notice is hopefully going to remove this from his life. And me and mum are ready to, go over there and get it all sorted and hope that they move out and, we can cut ties basically, because when you allow someone into your life and into your space, there's a level of respect. And if someone is just absolutely narcissistic, red flag behavior, and it goes on and on and on, we've done our best, but we are absolutely waving the surrender flag. So that's what's, happening. And I'll be honest with you, just as I always am, we weren't really coping there for a little bit, but we're getting there. So Tommy left my party. It was all sweet, having a couple of drinks with some really great friends. Shit got wild real fast. We got this text from one of the goats, who's a very, very dear friend of all of us. And he says, we're coming back from Queenstown on the bus, the goats bus. They do have a rugby bus. Can we pull in? We all want to give Danny Dot a big hug and a birthday kiss. And I just stood there and I was like, well, I can't say no to that. Oh my God, I should have said no. Think like 15, 20 guys come running up my driveway. I'm standing at the front door. I haven't told mum this is happening. And they all start piling into my house in their like really smart dress pants, shirts, blazers. And mum's just looking at me from the couch and she's like, what? And I mean, I have a big lounge, but it's not that big when there's like 30, 40 people in it. And as they were coming past, there was lots of hugs, lots of kisses, lots of, Danny Doll, I can't believe I'm here for your birthday. Rah! I actually should have had these microphones going when it was happening because it was crazy. But, they are little rascals. A couple of them are, just really immature when it comes to house parties. And so a few things went a bit astray. And at one stage I looked around the room and they were all holding jelly shots and drinking, what they had brought. They had brought boxes of beer, boxes of drinks, and eating, red velvet frosted cupcakes. And I just sort of got wind of a couple of things happening. I won't go into detail because it's a bit... But I had to reach out to the coach and just say, hey, listen, there's too many. House isn't big enough. I wasn't prepared. Can we call the courtesy coach for the pub to come grab like half of them just so that I can breathe? Because there was a couple of females on that bus that I didn't feel comfortable with being in my house. And so I had to sort of draw the line and say, hey, listen, we need to get some people out of here because it is my birthday and I'm not enjoying myself. So the courtesy coach started pulling up, and as say there was 5 deliveries and I was in the last one at about 11:45. There was a time there where half of them had gone to the pub and then half of them stayed, and they were, from my perspective, the better ones stayed. I mean, I wouldn't say that like I love half and I hate half, but half of them are just immature and half of them are just like really thoughtful. And actually quite a few of them actually had COVID that week. So again, I just even like thought, well, shit, not even like the better ones are here. And one of them was running up the bloody Sky Tower as a fireman doing this charity run. So yeah, no, I did the right thing and I still truly stand by it. So they were little rascals and I sent half of them away. And then, I turned up at the pub at about, 11:45-ish. And they were all still there, so it was all fine. It was just moving the location. But again, I had a really great party. The next morning was, nothing much, just to clean up, and we had to eat all the birthday food, didn't we? So there was birthday cake, and there was and there was actually another cob loaf. I only cooked one of the 2 cob loaves, and if you know me, you know that I love, cheese and bacon and all the things that go in the middle of a big, warm, crusty bread. So, we sat around, me and Mum, and just drank wine and ate cob loaf and chips and dip and cake and all the things that we didn't get to consume because there was a massive party happening. But, that was, what a great way to roll in 36, I feel. But, as they... a little disruption to my cocoon healthy, wellness thing that I had going on in May, that's for sure. And it didn't stop. It just, I think the 13 days prior to Mother's Day, when I was actually fully committed to cleaning my act up, basically, there was just a lot going on in my life at the time and I wasn't coping with any of it, and I sort of was turning to alcohol and bad food just to sort of get around those sort of instances. And so 13 days prior, when I was doing like a real structured thing, it seems like it's nothing, but when you haven't got structure and you actually apply yourself to a routine, it cleans like everything up. So yeah, look, May is a reflection. I've probably been out 2 Saturdays, 3 times at most if you count the Friday prior to, like the Friday of my birthday. And I am absolutely wrapped with that because my nearest and dearest friends have been super supportive and I have no regrets. Like, it's not about breaking a sobriety. That's not what it is. I mean, I don't ever think of myself as someone that can't handle alcohol. There's just bigger things happening that I wasn't coping with at the time that really hindered on how I was navigating that. So the 10th of June coming up, I will attempt the 45th parallel again, and that is the big run up the hill, and try and beat my last one, which was the 10th of May, and I think that was 28 minutes, and that's the Lowburn way, so car park to the top of Lowburn. And then, I'll see if I can beat that. So if anyone in the Cromwell region who's listening to this wants to actually come and meet me, I will sort of start to plan that. I don't run up it as such, but it's more like a fast walk whilst you can, because it just goes straight up. But in saying that, when I do the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a big walk on Sunday, I've noticed that my clothes are fitting better. So even though I was cutting out carbs and alcohol, and I haven't had hot chips for the whole of May, things like it doesn't happen slow. That's the most exciting part about this, is that if you are in a routine with a bit of structure and a little bit of planning, things definitely happen super fast. So, and look, I can be the picture of that. So if anyone wants to do that 45th parallel with me, reach out. I, of course, will do anything with anyone, so it's fine. And we'll get that going. But yeah, just in a loop back about wellness and cocoon for me, it's all still going ahead. I feel super energized. I had a few comments that I was glowing. Like, I just think it makes you feel good. Eat good food. You do some like fitness. It all just makes you feel really happy, healthy, nurtured. So it works for me. I absolutely think it would work for anyone if they're feeling like they need a bit of help. Do I think 2 weeks of being sober is the way to go? Well, it's weird. I probably could do it yeah, look, I'll loop back to that and see how my June's looking. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, I think 5 weeks ago, when I was at my friend's birthday, I had just found out about my dear friend Brett, who had pancreatic cancer, and I broke down at her birthday, sobbing. And I just never thought that, that would actually happen to a friend. Well, he passed away on Tuesday, just gone. So in the 5 weeks of, everyone finding out and him passing away, it was extremely heavy. And the thing is that I was walking around Kmart with Mum, and I don't know why I did this, but I pulled my phone out, and there's something, there's something really weird that happens when you just have to do something. And for me, I had to look at Facebook, and sure enough, it was the top post that came up, and I opened Facebook that Brett had passed away. And I looked at Mum, and Mum looked at me, and she went, "He passed, didn't he?" And I went, "Yeah." And I don't know why I did this. And sometimes it's just fight or flight mode. I just went into the undies section. Who buys undies from Kmart? I don't know, but Kmart Queenstown always seems to be empty in the undie department. So I just sort of sat on the ground and just cried for a minute, because I was like, oh, shit. And Mum was there with me, and we just sort of but the thing is that the 2 times I found out someone's passed away that's really close to me, I have never been home near Cromwell, and I've had to get home. And so we were in Queenstown to get shit done, and all of a sudden everything just felt like it was a blur, and it went out the window. I actually dropped my mum off at my brother's house, and I went for a drive to the Frankton Tavern, which to me, it's home. People were talking to me, but I don't remember what anyone was saying. So I definitely just crashed a little bit, and it's understandable. Brett was a huge part of my life, and his wife and their daughters, I just love and care about so much, and there was just so many memories. So the Friday just gone, I had a half day, and it was so sad. I went to his funeral, but as leaving Cromwell, there was a rainbow just as I left the driveway, and Metallica came on the radio, and I just sat there and I just cried again, and I was like, really? I'm going to the funeral. I was already mad about that in the first place. So yeah, and to have 1,000 people attend, and I'm looking at everyone 15, 16, 17 years ago that I met this guy. We were at the Frankton Arms Tavern, and I'm looking at all these guests, and I'm thinking, holy shit, that's just, 15 years later, they've just aged. And we all knew each other. We all just really enjoyed, being together. But it was like everyone came out of the woodwork to see Brett off, and a very emotional funeral. I went through 2 packets of tissues. I was sitting next to a detective from the Queenstown Police Station who told me one time that I've never been anything more than a pack and save checkout chick. Well, hello. Not anymore, mate. But yeah, we all then descended to the Frankton Arms for a drink. I don't know what was going on here, but there was a bar tab and we were all just yarning, and I got to meet his brothers, and his brothers was so super great. Like, I didn't know that he had that many siblings, but I said to him a very funny story about when I went to the Gibson concert in 2020 before the pandemic started. I was catching up with Brett and his wife again, Anna, and I said to Brett and Anna, hang on a minute, I've just got to get this bottle of gin out of my undies. And Brett just looked at me and he says, I don't even know if I should believe you. And I said, why wouldn't you? And he says, just don't bloody well change, Danny. Oh my God. And when I told Brett's brother the story, it kind of sunk in like over half an hour. And then he came and found me in the pub again and he said, what kind of size bottle are we talking about? And I just stood there and I was like, it wasn't like a generic Gordon's gin bottle or something. It was one of those little budget, soft drink bottles you buy from Pack and Save for 50 bloody cents. It wasn't a serious sized bottle and it was just sitting in my undies. It wasn't up me, for God's sakes. But no, Brett, you will be absolutely missed. And I truly believe that thunderstorm that happened over Queenstown while we were all at the Fats drinking, and there was lightning and thunder clapping, that it was you up in the sky getting the shits, that we was down there drinking all your Heineken. Solely believe that was what was happening, because holy moly, why would it be any other way? I don't think I've ever been in Queenstown when there's been a thunderstorm like that. That was wild, and it was so uncanny, that the timing. So, and yeah, you've just got to trust the timing of your life. So we do have Anna having a baby boy in the next 6 days, little Jacob Mason. I hope that he looks like his dad and just, he is the miracle baby, especially because, her other daughters are a little bit older, but still we will wrap this baby in lots of love and support throughout life. Your dad was amazing. And I just wanted to line that up and let you guys know that he has passed away now. And I was very upset, a couple of weeks ago when it all got announced that this is what was happening. But everyone just needs to look after yourself, because I feel like between diagnosis and Brett passing was just too fast. But maybe that is the type of, cancer. I don't know. I have barely looked into it because the whole thing just freaks me out. In saying that, I did have a belly rash. I think I've mentioned it before. I was stressed and I thought this belly rash was a stress rash. I'll let you in on a little story. I have been using, steroid cream on my belly for about 2 months. I was, diagnosed this cream from my doctor. It was a legitimate thing. The cream ran out, the rash remained. I was scratching so much that I thought, holy moly, I'm literally about to surface blood here. And so I walked into the Mall Cromwell antidote pharmacy and I said to the pharmacist, hey, I've been taking steroid cream on my tummy for 2 months. Nothing's helping. Can you please get me something to relieve this rash while I get in to see my GP, my doctor again, because I'm losing my mind. And he says, did you get your prescription from us? I said, yeah. And he brought up the prescription. He says to me, oh, yeah, that'll be all right. You're actually on a dosage for a child. Yeah, my GP is literally as useful as a wet tissue. So I was furious. I haven't really acted upon that just yet, but he marched me into this little side office and he was like, show me your belly. So I showed him and he was like, wow, gave me this really souped up cream. And I just want to say, literally, if something's not right, just ask someone that's a professional, because not only did he re-diagnose, he gave me some cream that has cleared the rash up in 3 days. 3 days. And the thing is that because we don't know how it started, I thought it was stress. I thought it was many things. Whenever I go to the gym and I have a shower and then I'm still really hot and sort of sweaty after, literally I smash myself at the gym. I'm not even going to lie. That's just, what I do. I just thought that clothing on sweat on skin was making this rash. There were so many possibilities in my head that I'm actually sort of wondering if it's my pre-workout. Maybe I'm allergic to my pre-workout because the pre-workout's finished and it's gone away. But anyway, the cream has helped. It cleared up. I'm super happy, and I just want you to know there is a really great pharmacist in that Mall Cromwell antidote. Young guy, don't know his name. I just wanted to let everyone know. He is amazing, and he thinks outside the box. He's not just, hey, look, take this cream and just get on with it. He's get in the office, show me your belly. And I mean, I've been in some weird places in my life where I've had to show skin, but I felt safe. But no, I just wanted to mention that. We are, obviously cruising into the bottom end of autumn, and, we've had some beautiful sunrises and sunsets down here in Central Otago lately. We have been missing the inversion cloud, which is this bollocks cloud that sits so low and the sun is above it, and it's always cold. Every morning I get up and I'm like, oh, no inversion cloud. So, winter's not really here just yet. When it is, it's weird because it always snows on my birthday and it didn't this year. So I don't know what's going on, but we are coming up to winter, but it's not quite cold enough. I think the ski fields are opening soon and we are getting an influx of skiers and stuff. People are still, in a housing crisis though. There's a lot of people sleeping in cars and stuff. So, breaks my heart what's going on out there. I do have a couple of questions on Spotify. Someone asked me what's my favorite color. I am olive skin and a brunette, so red is my color. I love it. I wear it any opportunity. And I actually did do a bit of a, what would you call it? I did a bit of a test on when you wear red a couple of months ago. It might have even been like a year ago, where I wore red lipstick and a red dress, and just sort of, I was getting a gauge for, if people, I don't know. And I just got a lot of compliments. So red is my favorite color. I just think it suits me and I really feel happy and loved when I wear red. Another question that cracked me up was, what's my favorite flavor pie? I don't eat a lot of pies. I definitely, love a bacon and egg pie, but not a bacon and egg that's had the egg swirled in the pastry. I like the egg to still be like egg white, egg yolk in the bacon egg pie. I don't know if any bacon egg pies still do that except homemade ones. When you used to do those like slabs of bacon egg, like squares? I don't know. Where did you even buy them? And when you cut into it, there was still like just the egg and the white was all like together still. I don't know. When you get the ones where the egg is just smushed through with like cheese and bacon and peas or something, like that's not my bacon egg pie. I like the real chunky, gutsy ones. Which was a funny question. I was like, I don't eat a lot of pies. Why is this coming up? And what is my favorite restaurant? Well, I actually sat on this, not literally, but I thought about it for a good week, and I have 3. I can't shake them. They are my 3 babies, one of which is the Applebee's chain in America. If you go to America and you go to an Applebee's, holy shit. They do like a cocktail of the week or the month or something, and it's $1. $1. Me and Nikki, my bestie, went to Vegas, and we purposely went to all the Applebee's between Vegas and Los Angeles just so that we could not look like drunks. But if you're getting these margaritas in these massive goblets that are $1, and they even did those weird clippy things that put the bottle of Corona attached to the glass, where they would I don't even know how to explain it, change the drink a little bit. Oh, Applebee's is my favorite for I don't even know how to describe it. It's like sporting food where you eat crumbed cheesy jalapeno sticks and it's just really, really well done food. I can't fault it. I love that vibe of that restaurant. It's always humming, cheap drinks, delicious food that is so homely and I will run to an Applebee's when I go to America. Get out of my way. Portofino is my favorite Italian restaurant. There was one in Christchurch and I think one in Auckland. The one in Christchurch just has really great memories for me. It's an Italian restaurant. I got to know the owner really well before the Christchurch earthquakes. And whenever I used to go in there for the pasta, he used to give me a shot of limoncello and a glass of red wine. And I don't know, it stuck with me. It's delicious pasta, really great. Like, if you step into a restaurant and you feel cold and like you shouldn't be there, I walk away. And so Portofino was just this white restaurant with a green trim, like LED trim, and delicious homely food. I rate that. I don't know if the one in Auckland's still there. I'm actually going to Auckland with the bestie for a Lizzo concert, so I might sort of see what's around. And finally, as everyone may know that's on my social media, I am obsessed with Good Bar, which is up on the Sunshine Coast of just out of Brisbane, like an hour and a half north. I've taken many, many friends there over the years, and it sort of fell into my lap one time. It has no view, but I feel that restaurants that have no view have delicious food. And this one, my brother Jack and me went to, and it has like, what do you call it? R&B stars on the walls, and big LED signs that just make you feel like you're part of hip hop culture, but you're not. The food is on steroids. Like one time he ordered this bacon waterfall burger, and literally the bacon was falling out of the burger. I actually think Good Bar has rebranded. I'll find out what it's called now and put that in the notes of the podcast. But they do like po' boys, so those really cool baguette crusted breadsticks filled with like crispy chicken and what was it? Crispy chicken and maple syrup and bacon, or like super vegetarian with halloumi, and just, I don't know, Good Bar does really good food on steroids. So between Applebee's, Portofino and Good Bar, those are my three favourites. If you see them or you are in Sunshine Coast or Auckland or America, definitely look them up. I absolutely would not tell anyone to go to restaurants I didn't believe in where you're going to have a bloody good time. But yeah, that's my go-tos. So I got gifted in my birthday this spray. I wanted to make mention of it because it's really funny. It's called This Works, and it's a sleep spray. And I know that, I do go on about the fact that when you go to bed, you have like a linen spray or a candle or something on a Sunday night just to wind down, rah. This sleep spray is like crack. I don't know how to describe it. I've used it twice. It's blowing my mind. I've just started like spraying it on the pillow, not on the sheets. And so you spray it. It's got like, I don't know, 5 ingredients. Lavender's a big one, as per usual. But all of a sudden, you start feeling your eyes become super heavy and you can't keep them open. And I'm like, okay, so normally you take like a low dosage valerian type sleeping tablet and you'll nod off. This sleep spray, there's no induciveness. It's just one of these things that you smell and it knocks you out, which is so crazy because I've been on a Qantas flight once from Hawaii to Sydney, and something happened on that flight because I was super awake. Like I had raided the vending machine of all the sugar, and we were up at 4 a.m. We were like super pumped to get back to Sydney. And all of a sudden, 20 minutes into this Qantas flight, I was out. And I swear to this day that Qantas put something in their air conditioning, because I'm pretty sure this was it. I found it. I have found it, everyone. I had it on my desk, but I moved it. So it's called Deep Sleep Pillow Spray by the company This Works. Holy moly. And there's actually like a whole like brandage of all different products. Like I don't even like know what they're called. It was like keep me awake or something, like things like vitamin C, things for the shower. If anyone's struggling to fall asleep or you want that extra hit, I really recommend that stuff. It's weird. It doesn't have the ingredients on it. It just says spray on your pillow or bed cover before you sleep. Yeah, if we all did it, we'd all be knocked out. And the thing is, I passed this around at my party. Someone yelled out, "Don't spray it, we'll all fall asleep," which they're not wrong. So in June, my biggest sort of push is actually to do Bailey Brown's 28-day Pilates challenge. I've seen it on TikTok, but I've also seen it on YouTube, and people swear by it. And I think that if you're going to be doing like strength training, weights, cardio, getting the body moving, sometimes it's super important just to slow that shit down and stretch and do something like Pilates, where you hold form a little bit longer and you work different muscles. So Bailey Brown, I saw it, I've actually watched one of her episodes on YouTube, and it was only like 8 minutes or something, and I was like sweating, like I can't do this. Anyway, a friend of mine did it in Australia, and she reached out and she was like, holy shit, do 28 days of it. You'll feel snatched in the waist after you've finished your 28 days. It literally does this weird thing where it tones you up. And I think, because I get to work from home, I do get, a little bit more flexibility with my time, especially when it comes to a lunch break. So I'm planning on all through June doing the Bailey Brown 28-day Pilates challenge. It is on YouTube, super easy just to look up, subscribe, and let's get this ball rolling and do something super weird. I've never done Pilates. I've done yoga once, but I had 42-inch hair extensions at the time, and what a mess. Why did I decide to do that? I could not, for the life of me, get into any pose. I had hair in my armpits that was like not my hair. It was it was my extensions, so I was like, but no, I will do this. I'm very pumped to get this going. And also, just a reflection, just while I wrap up on the travel podcast, I didn't know people weren't using those tips and tricks, so that cracked me up that when I got a little bit of feedback and they were like, oh my God, I'm so excited to travel knowing what I know now. I was like, okay. Maybe hit the anchors on traveling just for a little bit because it's super expensive right now, or else I would have been at a baby shower on the weekend. But, the prices are giving me anxiety. Why is it expensive? And the weird thing is that when you look up flights and then it saves your recent search, then you have to go and clear the cookies, or else the next time you go and look at that search, it bumps up like $20, $30. Hate it. But I really loved how everyone loved the travel podcast. It was very easy to talk about. As say, 55 minutes done. And then even then I was like, shit, I missed this out. So maybe I need to do a second one. Of course, there's heaps of knowledge. I've definitely been around the sun a few times. But yeah, I'll come back around to that. I think it's been really well received, that's for sure. So we've got the King's birthday long weekend here in New Zealand this weekend. I'm super excited just to relax on that Monday. It's gonna be good because I feel like we haven't had, when was the last April. Was it April we had a public holiday? But no, having a Monday off, I definitely want to catch up with all my friends, just see where everyone's at. The Goats have a bye this weekend, so no rugby, which will be cool, just to sort of, I feel like when that happens at 2:30 on a Saturday, your day goes out the window. You go to watch the rugby and then all of a sudden it's like 2 a.m. and you're at the nightclub and you're missing a shoe and the cat's pregnant. Let's be honest. So, with no rugby. Although I didn't go last Saturday because we had drama happening anyway with Tom's flatmate. And I got bailed up about it. I was like, oh, seriously. I'm not doing anything this long weekend. I don't have any plans. I've already sort of reached out to a couple of people just to sort of check in and make sure that, being so early on in this week that I'm laying a bit of groundwork, that I want to catch up with you. But yeah, everyone just be safe and look after each other. We'll get through the long weekend. Just on that note, wine of the week. I didn't do a wine of the week last podcast because I wasn't drinking. I was actually gifted this. It is the 2022 Moira Pinot Noir. Don't know the price of it. Absolutely stunning. We did have the Moira team at the Town and Country Club a couple of months ago for a presentation just to sort of show us all the wines. They are based in on the way to Arrowtown, just out of Queenstown. Stunning. And I think we're coming into that weather where things are delicious. We are able to drink red wine and not the old white wine spritzers in summer. If anyone I know adds anything to wine except for sangria from dirty $3 Aldi wine, there's problems. But no, this is one of those really delicious wines that you have with all the red meats, steak, lamb, pasta. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to mention that one. And also, I don't know if this is well known in the Cromwell region, but Cromwell Township, but the manager of the Liquorland is making sure that he's buying lots of massive pallet loads of boxed RTD drinks, ready-to-drink drinks, to keep the price down. Let's encourage that he keeps that up, okay? So right now he's doing the Good and Great, which is a knockoff of the Long White. They are quite potent. Yeah, I definitely have a good night if I drink a couple of those. But he is doing them for $17.99 for 10, as opposed to the normal like $28 for 10. So $10 knockoff, that's really good. And my favorite, the Odd Company, I just wanted to let you all know, $25 for a 10 mix box. Odd Company's doing mix boxes now, which is so fun because I love mixes. There's nothing worse than getting bored of a flavour when you're like, what am I drinking? But yeah, the Odd Company team have released this, and when this all happened, like Thursday last week, I was like in my car. I was messaging a friend, and I was like, oh my God, look at this special at Liquorland. I was in my car, and she was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, didn't write anything in the message. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm in my car going to the liquor store. Because I'm not drinking like right now, like I have been, doesn't mean that I can't buy these specials and get amongst it and put it in the garage and freak Sue out and get ready for summer. Because this side of the next 6 months, I have some pretty epic visitors coming in to see me in Cromwell, and I want to put them back on the plane at the end of their trips and be like, what was your best part of Cromwell? Wow. It's Danny's bloody lolly scramble in her garage of all the drinks that she's been stocking up, because yeah, I think our alcohol in New Zealand is really fun compared to some countries. And if we're getting 10 for like $17, in Australia in some cases you can get 4 for like 30. Their alcohol prices are really crazy. So I want the Aussies to come over here and just be like, shit, man, New Zealand was like Bali. It's not, but in the same sort of price range, that's for sure. And if the manager of Liquorland's going to look after him, I'm going to look after us. I'm going to look after him and mention it to make sure that you all know that it's not weird. It's not a special. He's actually specifically doing that for us. On that note, I'll wrap this up. 53 minutes. I don't even know how this manages to get past, half an hour these days, but I just keep talking, don't I? But I have appreciated everything through these past 10 episodes. It's been an absolute whirlwind. Here's to the next 10. We'll see what happens and if Danny learns how to use that soundboard. Thanks, Tom. Presents I don't know how to use. If anyone knows how to use those things, let me know, because that will also help me. I probably should just YouTube it or something. But yeah, I think the older you get, the more less tolerant you are to technology. I have my new phone. I don't know how to use some things. There was even like a moment just recently where a plane flew over me, and it was super unusual. I thought, oh my God, that's like a tiger moth or something strange. It looked like it was like part of an air museum. My normal reliable phone, straight out of the pocket, straight zoomed in, perfect photo for the bestie in Australia. The new phone, couldn't work it. The photo was blurry. I couldn't see the plane. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? So yeah, I still need to learn how to use that, and I need help with a lot of things. Anyway, have a really great King's Long weekend if you are getting that holiday. I don't know if it's like through the world. For us, it was the Queen's birthday. So just have fun, enjoy yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you for the next podcast, number 12. Take care. Bye.